Welcome back to this week's episode of One Swell. And for all of you that are fans of the dark, mysterious, and a little bit scary, this one's for you. You've heard of global warming, right? But have you heard of ocean acidification? Unfortunately, it's talked about way less, but it's just as dangerous. And even if we don't understand it, we should all at least know about it. So what is ocean acidification? Ocean acidification is when CO2 dissolves in seawater to create carbonic acid. This carbonic acid actually lowers the pH of the ocean, which in turn actually makes it more acidic. Since the Industrial Revolution, the ocean's pH has actually dropped by 30%. And this, of course, is a huge shift for marine life. Now, we wouldn't even be talking about any of this if it didn't directly affect something, right? So what are some of the things that actually might be affected by this drop in pH and rise in acidity within the ocean? First and foremost, corals all over the world will struggle and continue to struggle to grow and flourish. We know what that means, right? That means if coral can't grow, it can't produce the necessary ecosystem that so many other marine organisms rely on. This reduction in the pH of the ocean actually makes it so that shellfish can't even grow strong shells, basically defeating the purpose of what they are. No one thing is more important than the other. It is worth noting that plankton are even being affected by this. Plankton are the base of the entire ocean food chain. When this begins to crumble, the rest will follow. So it is very, very crucial that we are made aware of the effects that ocean acidification is actually having on plankton. Now those we can classify under the global effects, right? Let's talk about on a more local, smaller scale, maybe a little bit closer to home. In the Pacific Northwest, oyster farms have seen massive die-offs due to ocean acidification. In tropical areas, we have seen a direct correlation between reef loss and a loss of tourism. And I know that doesn't sound ideal, but some communities do in fact rely on that tourism for survival. We've seen local fisheries destroyed, and we've seen a loss in one of the most important things, which is coastal protection. Communities all over the world rely on the barrier reefs and things of that nature that protect the shoreline from incoming storms, swells, etc. So what are some things that any of us or us as a whole can do? First and foremost, and as always, we need to cut CO2 emissions. We need to restore seagrass and mangroves alike. The reason is because they act as a filter and absorb carbon that is passing through the water column. We need to protect these ecosystems. We need to act as the barrier, just as the reef would do for a local coastal community. We need to do the same for it. By protecting it and increasing the number of protected areas throughout the ocean, we will allow a fighting chance to be had, and we will allow the ocean to become more resilient through the growth of those individual ecosystem. Basically, at the end of the day, science and policy, they got to step it up. If you or anyone you know has been directly affected in one of the ways that I mentioned, or one that I haven't, leave a comment down below and let us know. We'd love to hear about it, and we'd love to know how anyone can get involved and help. Ocean acidification has the potential to reshape life underwater as we know it, and we need to make it a public topic or raise awareness about it before it's too late. Problems within the ocean are vast, but so are the ways that we can help. And as always, remember, together we can make a difference one swell at a time. I just said, unfortunately, it's talked about way less.